this isn't a good time to talk. My appointment slate is full. Maybe another time.
Captain, can I help you? Still no word from the cabinet. Anything you wanted to discuss? Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor. That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
It doesn't matter if it can be weaponized or not. The archives need to remain sealed for now. There's no reason to rush into a decision of this magnitude.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That working now?
Point is a good one.
Good thing you mentioned something.
Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe
good.
we can agree to give our full backing.
Man, you know, I don't know why that did that.
What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred.
Oh crap, something's going on.
Lockdown engaged.
Yeah, I just started not too long ago, and I started earlier than normal.
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a
Things
while.
going down, eh?
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
Oh, we're gonna be killing
On it, ma'am.
terramorphs, I guess.
Let's get down there.
You know, it's funny they say both of us, but there's actually 3 of us. Well, Sarah doesn't get acknowledged. Can you imagine we are on our way to stop these terramorphs and we get stuck in the darn elevator? Sorry, I gotta wait for a maintenance man.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Like the EM weapon. Well, Sarah just killed him. Oh, maybe she didn't. This one looks kind of dead. Probably this one, eh? Shoot her in the butt.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Oh, you can't play and watch at the same time.
Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Okay.
I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll
On your
just have to
Xbox
make
One,
sure
it's
to
super
watch out
glitchy?
for each other down there.
Huh. We could play one thing on your Xbox One. Go to the browser.
I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior.
It's funny, I remember this this kind of scene here with the things on Twitter. You know, some PlayStation guys were trying to make Starfield look bad by saying how bad the AI is or something by showing this scene of them shooting the zombie people, you know.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Oh, really? Going dead? I think Sarah will shoot them anyway. They put a hole in the wall here. Looks like I better switch guns. Use this one.
Oh God! Here they come!
That wasn't so bad.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman...
Their modes are literal black holes.
Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, I've got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can. Those things turn against us.
Good stuff. How am I feeling? I'm feeling alright. I don't know, their modes aren't literal black holes. They had teeth and stuff.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts. Your call. We're on the line.
We're okay. Maybe I should change to a better weapon. One's a 61. My best weapon. The shotty does 50. More than one, I guess. Well, I got an idea. There we go. Weren't they fires? I should just get in my ship and shoot it. Using an old Earth rifle, that's the way to do it. It's not inside that thing. Or on the other side of it, maybe? You use the shotgun? How does the cloud graphics compare to what you see on my screen here? Does it tone it down at all, or is it not too bad? I better change guns. I'm drawing the aggro, man. I was gonna reload.
It's over. God. If these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Oh, okay. Guess they'll cover it up. Thing that those things didn't go where my ship was. I would have had to call. I chased away that insurance company.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
And don't forget to hit like, everybody.
Certainly doesn't feel like it. I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the
Old
president.
Sarah,
I
then
know the
she doesn't
wants to be
count.
dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
He's gotta fix his hole. Council's back in session.
The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the
You are our guest.
before exiting your homes. That is all.
Stephanie, thank you for liking. I don't know if I sound better. Maybe it's getting there, eh? Gotta go up to the planetary interstellar government here. Did you see the stormtrooper mods, Antonio? They have some people put on that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much... Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ah.
I had some ideas on that front, Captain, but we'll get to that. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of major.
Oh, she got
We've
promotion.
the data in hand. We want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes.
Dancing
ma'am.
with the stars.
I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for
I had,
investigation
soup.
to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varoon to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
You had tater wedges and chicken nuggets. Nice. Me?
The cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
The,
We do.
thing about being the central
We're willing to
character,
match
I guess.
citizenship upon collection of the data. Get you access to
Soup
those
is good for you when you're sick.
real estate you're after. So, will you help us? It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But
Mashed
above all,
potatoes. Nice.
You'd become a dedicated part
Cheese,
of
roast
the greatest
beef.
faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door.
I mean, I don't have to wait 10 years?
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we of course won't be sending you in
I've only fought
without
like
the
these
proper
giant
support.
Terramors about 6 or 7
Deputy
times.
McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives.
Never gonna grow up, just get
You'll be
older.
able to find
Yeah.
her in our office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Look at that, they gave me $10,000 too.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni.
Where's that other dude? Let's talk to this guy.
I'm far too busy to talk right now.
What, still?
I'm far too busy to talk right now.
Jerk, man.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
We didn't get where we are by sitting on our laurels. Our laurels, in fact, became uninhabitable a long time ago. Helps to remember that.
Okay, what do I gotta really do? Friends like these. I'm still full of stuff. I can't remember now. I have like 20 guns.
These orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second in command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack.
Go ahead, drop it off.
I
Yeah.
was also informed
I did actually up my cargo bays a bit there when my
Chief Yassine wants you to
last repairs were happening.
His office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct? Huh. All right. We'll start at the beginning. When the colony war ended, the UC
2400?
came to the agreement some
Nice.
weapons needed to be off limits.
I can't remember what mine has now.
Xeno warfare. So they gathered up all the relevant research materials and sealed that information away. Terramorph data included, in the archives here in the city. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varoon. Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varoon to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said.
I wonder if the Varoons will be mad because I keep stealing their ships.
No. Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated on the fly based on biometric keys kept by each of the ambassadors on their person at all times. They're impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with the ambassadors, meaning we're accessing nothing if we can't get them on our side.
We're working on upgrade. I got ship level 1.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate. And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative. But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varoon? Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varoon retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varoon thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval. Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice. It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive.
Thank you for sharing, Antonio.
Always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting. Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them.
Hopefully he's not dead. That would suck.
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside.
That means I gotta sneak in?
Occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city.
Does it show ya?
The man.
No, he might have. It might not have registered it. But thank you if you liked. Only 2 people have liked so far, so that definitely helps.
The Varun delegation.
Uh-oh, Stephanie's leaving. Sad enough.
With them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador. I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Just to hear about the other guy.
Good.
Welcome back.
Mr. Ratcliffe.
You barely left for 2 seconds.
Any war, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate.
Did you guys see that thing about Microsoft talking about acquiring Nintendo?
Who knows? Maybe that'll work.
I was hoping Timothy would be here.
My suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
So we could see what Timothy thought, because he's Mr. Nintendo, but I don't know where he is yet.
Huh. Well, if that's the case, I'll wait to be pleasantly surprised. But we do have one item up our sleeve. UC Intelligence has a
Does that make you excited, Stephanie?
Living quarters, which we suspect
You could be an Xboxer.
But getting caught
Then
trespassing
after
is a
that,
quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell. So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you. Name's Cameron Long.
That's what they said about Activision.
Less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins.
They said that they're buying stocks, but they'd prefer not to do a hostile takeover.
Hates her guts.
What? This person hates their guts.
Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Does that mean, though? Not necessarily. They didn't get rid of Bethesda. But Activision hasn't been around as long either. Yeah, but I mean, that stuff happens all the time, though. I mean, doesn't matter how long the company's been around. Look at Atari. Atari's still around, but, they're pretty acquirable. Just because Nintendo is actually still doing good. Will most likely become a subsidiary of Microsoft, get absorbed and spit back out as something else under the same name. Bipolar, thank you for liking.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up.
I mean, Bethesda,
Likely to let you through the door.
this company that makes this game,
And take these.
pretty much run the same way, but they have, they just have
Now, if you have additional
Microsoft above them, right?
clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Right, we had some points, so we gotta probably invest in something. Probably finish this one off. Or no, this one. You know what you gotta do once in a while? You're playing them role-playing games. Maybe that means that Microsoft or Nintendo stuff would be on Game Pass. It'd be alright. You wouldn't have to buy no dang Nintendo Pass. You'd have to buy the Game Pass, and then you get all the access to all the games.
What?
Freestar Security, stop right now!
What? I'm out, not even on the property.
You're in violation of embassy regs. You're coming with me.
You are our guest.
Good. And you can bet the UC is gonna hear about this.
What's he talking about? I guess it's because I had some fines, eh? Asta, thank you for liking. What? It cost me XP? That's because I stole that thing, man. I'm loading. Must be somewhere I can pay off my Hey Caesar, thank you for sharing and liking if you liked.
Oh, not there. Okay, how about here? Ooh, that feels good.
I forgot about that fine because I ducked in front of that one captain and stole some stuff.
You are our guest.
Thank you, Esther. You know, you can play this game, Esther. You just have to get Game Pass Ultimate, and then you play it through the cloud. That's how Antonio plays it. He tries it on his Xbox One, but he said it wasn't that smooth for him, so he just plays it through his phone. And if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, then you all the other free games too. The band Prodigy. I am your fire starter. No, I am the fire starter. You like that band? Is there somewhere I could pay a fine here? Clear my name? We love that band, eh? I bet you Stephanie voted no. She doesn't like any bands unless they're on Disney. I don't know if they got newer-ish stuff, I think. Maybe the original singer's dead and they replaced him. I don't know.
Keep moving. Right through the checkpoint.
Hey, what can I do for you?
They automatically assume you won't like it, eh? Be right back again. Keith Flint is the lead singer of Prodigy. He died. Oh, you looked it up? I don't even know when I picked up this stuff. See, Stephanie voted against them. Can't sell that. I only got $10 left here. 99% of, well, 99% of people don't love them because 60% love them right now out of the votes. Is there somewhere I can clear my bounties? Do you know, there's somewhere I can go? Must be somewhere. Maybe this information board will be good for me to read, eh? Oh! What do you think? You think I can clear my bounties anywhere here? Where to clear bounty Starfield? Maybe this one will tell me, eh? Right, so New Atlantis Viewport. So that's where I'm looking for. Would you go see any new other bands coming up? Or are you all band watching worn out now?
I know we're safe now, but I'm still a little jittery. Oh, please, take a look.
I saw that, eh? If there's any good ammo for me. There, they even got money left because I bought so much ammo. This one uses .43 Ultra Mag. I already bought them all up.
Thanks for coming in.
Here, we gotta go find that other bar to clear our bounty. Here it is. Be a board around here somewhere. There we go. $8,000 is kind of ridiculous, but what can you do? It was more than this item I stole back in when I stole it. All right, here we go. You still here, Asta? What, did you see that stuff about Microsoft wanting to buy Nintendo? Wouldn't that be awesome? Boo.
You are a visitor? You'll find the ambassador in our office. Go on through. You can go on through.
Save here. Save often. Say, you know, just in case there's a problem. And then I'll solve it. Think so.
I'm going to be upfront. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective, but you lead, and I'll follow.
Is the conference room where I'm allowed?
Sorry, everyone's a little on edge after the attack.
Jake and the Emu. I gotta restock my Canuck. Yeah, Woodpecker can hammer wood up to 16 times a second. Well, that's an interesting fact, isn't it? Loud in there. They said I'm allowed in conference rooms, eh?
Sounds like it was a real mess down at the spaceport.
Sure was. How do I get to where I want to go?
As in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint.
What's that thing?
Broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
I didn't know that. That'd be hard to spell. Imagine learning that.
Supposed to be in here. I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? What are you? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf.
What?
Tell me I've got that right.
Kind of resistant.
I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood. I'm listening. You know that for sure. That is interesting. I suppose I have seen some promising actions by this current administration. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once.
6 days!
On your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement? Well then, I guess you better get a move on.
I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing here, but according to Deputy McIntyre. I'd probably be okay with that. Got a nice little lobby here. I guess it makes sense they'd use stormtroopers for do I get there? Yeah, I have Diablo 4. I played a bit of it before beginning of the month here. I'm not very far, but definitely like a pretty good game, you know?
Hey.
Excuse me. Welcome back. Everything going well with the ambassadors? Wait, you got her to agree? Without putting a gun to her head? And all she wants are monitors. Then what are you doing here? Yes, granted, we'll make the arrangements. Heavens above, we'll make them citizens. Just get back there before she changes her mind.
Well, alright then. Or this is the way. Like a long trip just to get her to say, go do it.
Okay, sounds good.
You love Diablo? Did you like the old ones as well? I played a bit of Diablo 2 earlier this year. With the remastered one or whatever. And I also had played Diablo 3 in the past, but I haven't played Diablo 1. A lot of elevatoring, eh? There we go. There's like a little room.
You're alone.
Can't sit in the chair.
Back at last. I presume the deputy was receptive to our proposal. Are we all in agreement? Excellent. Follow me.
You got pretty cool uniforms too.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. Two unlikely allies, I guess. I suppose suppose we're in this together now.
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
That thing. You played Baldur's Gates 1 and 2 as well? Those games are fun. What about 3? That one's supposed to be fantastic. I went to school with one of the guys that's the lead writer for BioWare. And he worked on Baldur's Gate. Not the third one, but I'm pretty sure that was BioWare related, wasn't it? Baldur's Gate 1 or something? Am I thinking of another game? He was also involved in Mass Effect and the Mass Effect trilogy. A little bit of Andromeda, but mostly the trilogy. And Dragon Age too. Guess we should probably save again, eh? There is some pretty big plant happening here.
What I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy.
All right, we're in.
Seen a tree like this before in my entire life. Is it actually?
Holy man. Didn't even realize there was a bot there. Your tire fell off your forklift. Boy, that probably gave you a bit of a shocker. Hopefully everybody was safe and no one got hurt. Guess this is the can. I don't know why there's a mannequin in here. That's kind of weird. There's a bunch of board games now. Holy crap. I was looking at the what there was to be seen. Weird voices in here, eh? What's that? Looks like we're in Cobra. I thought those things were friendly to me. Rip. A can? That's not a can. There we go. Look at that. It scared you. Yeah, I imagine. That can be dangerous too, so it's a good thing that nothing bad happened. Oh yeah, I guess I could have turned that grid off in here if I would have got in here first. A lot more relaxed in here with the lights on, eh? So what he wanted me to do is take the blue vase? Probably. Want me to go to the basement? I'm going there yet, I guess. Which upstairs trapped? Turned the wheel, felt a little pop, and then moved a little, and it went down. Did you ever see those like videos on YouTube and Facebook where it shows the person in the forklift and they hit some wall full of stuff and everything comes down? They had to jump out of the way. That'd be worse. And she's never can't satisfy her, I guess. Right. You want to stay on because it's pretty sturdy? I guess you're probably safer staying on it than...
Bring it on.
If you don't mind, I'd like Admiral Logan's office shouldn't be terribly far. Let's go.
But you didn't put me into like a huge conversation loop. This. Like that. I can't believe my auto slot was that fast. Restock my... I went a little forward on it. Guess they're out. Like, they told me to go to the eye, so I introduced myself to the eye guy. And... basically told me another quest. You see, after the unlocking, I guess, I'll have to probably finish this unlock. Here's my menu screen. And I was doing this mission. You're a wild man. What? But we're going to the basement, I guess. Take all their notebooks, eh? The cups. That cup's for $55. Missed ammo. Out of the way. Oh yeah. Guess that's the turret I disabled, eh? But you get turret. You guys all had the back to work calls, I guess, eh? I went up to a couple of the mannequins and it wouldn't let me take anything. Where was the mannequin over here? This one probably the same, I don't know.
You are our guest.
Doesn't seem to let me take anything. Firedough, thank you for liking. Succulent. That's succulents on the floor here too, eh? They're not probably just prop mannequins or something. Oh, I missed something here. Not bothering with the little stuff this time, trying to resist the temptation. How much money do I have anyway? I don't even know where it says. Well, here we go. Oh, I only have 45,000 credits. I thought it had more. I thought they gave me like 200,000 completing that other mission. Now you want to talk to him, eh? You wouldn't talk to me because I was on this mission. Did I misread it? I thought it said 43,000. Oh no. 435,000. I thought it said 43,000. I just spent another 100 grand on my ship too, eh? You know, I made that money one coffee cup at a time. Another one over there.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss.
All right. I'm gonna look in here first, though, and see what this is all about. Plant bill. Oh, if I take this stuff, it'd be stealing. This isn't stealing? Got no VHS tape. No, they didn't seem to have theft marks.
You've learned to pick. You know what? On second thought, I don't want to know.
Back, dude.
Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then... silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly? Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But I must know of the rest of the city. Does it still stand? I take it you didn't have such an experience where you were then, hmm? Yes, the entire embassy was thrown into lockdown, trapping me in my quarters, disabling the Venom tree's filters, and arming the defenses. A disconcerting experience, to say the least. Was the rest of the city spared?
He really wants to know.
Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, hmm? And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably, hmm? Do I see this all clearly? The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there.
No, it didn't say steal from. I don't think it did anyway.
For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. With little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends.
He reminds you of Steve Buscemi.
Be used to save lives, not endanger them.
Kind of reminds me of Leonard Nimoy a little bit too. You don't get to tell me what to do, old man.
A fine counterexample, responsible for the deaths of millions on ancient Earth. And fireworks? Absolutely capable of being put to violence, but not evil in itself. And here you are with a similar conundrum. I might be willing to support you if I knew I would not be tarnishing the legacy of House Varun by doing so.
Well, he's been abandoned in this place for a while with a poison death tree, so you know, he's probably needs a shower or something. And you know, some food.
As the chair of Constellation, I take personal responsibility in vouching for this man's integrity. He'll keep his word.
Well then, I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
Well, hopefully I didn't promise the impossible.
Let's hope it still works.
Got your empty trunk here. Yeah, I don't know. You guys attack me every time I go near you, so. We can get out. In here. Oh, you need a key card from him. Maybe there's something good in there. I don't know. Well, we're on our way out, so. Is there anything on the way? Got glass. That was my day. It was alright. Always nicer to get home and kick back, relax, you know. Grab the succulent. That's the way I came. I don't even know. Fairly unused cubicles. Probably watching me steal all the stuff. I figures I need a digipad. Almost the weekend, that's true. And tomorrow at work, our department is where they're giving us free lunch. That's alright. I like free lunch. You know, half of it was I'm picking up here is like old styrofoam cups and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm doing them a favor. And of course, desktop digiframes. I don't need that anymore. Need supplies, eh? £10 lasagna, nice. What do you like on your lasagna? Because like some people put spinach on it. People just like the, you know, traditional lasagna. I don't mind a good lasagna. Sometimes I get the one from Costco. They make a pretty good lasagna there, actually. Like, used to be like $10 for it, $15 or something. Can't even make it that cheap, you know? This is why I'm probably like level 25 and everybody's else is level 40, eh? Go and clean everything out. Going through, clean up their beer bottles after their party. This thing. Oh, dinner plate. Funny how I can't pick up the toaster, eh? That guy, he's gonna say that do regular cottage cheese instead of ricotta. Nice, that sounds pretty good. Wonder if Stephanie's still here. She likes lasagna, you know? Mm. You think you pulled something? Uh-oh. Yeah, make sure you write it in the book. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? I used to work at a mine way back in the day as a summer student, and you had to write things in the book. You pulled something, you still got to write in the book. You get like some sort of weird arthritis or something later, then there's a record in the book. Develops into something bad. Even like minor injuries you don't think of be something, you know, sometimes can turn into something. Little cubicles are hard to search. I missed that one foam cup, I guess. This stuff too. All adds up, Sarah. Much in here. Better remember I'm not a spring chicken and indestructible anymore. You know, that's always good to remember. I remember a coworker of mine hopped off a desk, you know, thinking not much of it, and boy did he do some damage to his ligaments or something. Just hopping off a desk. He didn't think it was that far. Just because, you know, that's how he always did it, you know. But it was farther than he expected, and it kind of hurt himself. Can't remember if he broke anything, but I can't take that. Why did it highlight it? This cup instead. Oh, I guess Stephanie wasn't here. We'll have to tell her about the lasagna later. Oh, I didn't even realize that was a lock. There you go, eh? What? There's only like... These are the only things I can use?
That was locked. There must be something they don't want us to find.
Oh, we got some contraband. 8,000 bucks worth. Translate to 800. They cleaned out their bathroom. Don't forget to open the toilets. That's too much work. You have to like grab a waste paper basket and rub it against it. Is there anything actually ever in the toilets? Maybe some dookie? Oh, really? Oh.
If you're searching, then make it quick.
Sure, there's lots of stuff I miss all the time. Almost missed that soil bowl. I just went in a circle there. Yeah, well, I guess. Yes, they get you. Maybe it's something that when the place is normally up to snuff. All right, we're on the second floor right now. Or were we on the first? Must have been on third. Nothing really up here though. If it isn't nailed down, you know. They probably don't need it. Or I need it worse than them, right? I was just sitting back laughing. Gotcha. Way out? What's up here? Infinity Limited headquarters. Locked. Needs a key. There we go. If we need to go to Infinity Limited headquarters, I don't think I have a key. So.
You are our guest.
Walter, thank you for liking. Much appreciated. I gotta do my Ryujin quest too. Gotta get there. Probably down here. It's actually not too bad for busyness for a city, to be honest. You know, if this was like some cities, it'd be nuts. Going down to the subway. Go to the well. Go to the well to sell. Gonna be surprised when I go to do more main story. Eventually. I'd still like to know where them sysdef boards are.
If there's something you need, no matter what it is, you won't find a better selection or more reasonable.
I need digipicks because I use those a lot. Dang. Got lots of crap. I must have sold it to you. Although I got some more notepads for you. Doesn't have digipicks, eh? Same. Money. You're back. We are just asking if you were here. Like twice. The Antonio's having homemade lasagna tomorrow. And I was telling him how much you like lasagna. We said we better let Stephanie know about that. Stephanie's gonna turn around. I don't like lasagna. Oh no, she said yummy. How do you like your lasagna, Stephanie? Do you like it with cottage cheese? Or do you like spinach lasagna? Or any kind of other kind? Have to do another one for them to have money again?
The Trade Authority has access. It's cliche, but it's true. Be my guest.
It's $11,000, so that's good. Yes, Digipix. Again. You do ground beef, ground pork, sausage, cottage cheese, mozzarella cheese, noodles, and sauce. Sounds pretty good. It's Ultra Mag I want, right? You like seafood in lasagna? You see anything, you know. Seafood lasagna is pretty good. Sounds gross. You tried it? Oh, I better go sell that no seafood. You just said you like anything in it. Was it a resource? You don't like seafood though? Man, I went to Seattle and I went to one of those restaurants right on the water and had crab boil. It cost a fortune. It was really super expensive, but boy, was it good. What the heck? Where'd that there it is. Had a heck of a time finding it, eh? I like seafood. It's good. In my opinion. I like shrimp on pizza. I had like crab legs in one of the Vegas buffets. They're sure having problems in Vegas right now. They got hacked. And they basically MGM got shut right down, eh? You admit you eat like a little kid? I had some Popeyes the other day. That was pretty good. Some spicy chicken. Although, you know, one thing about eating crab legs at the buffet is, you know, when you're in Vegas buffets, you have limited time. So, you know, the thing is with crab legs, they take a long time to eat. They got $3,000 left. You chatted with your brother about your ticket. Like everything I got is good. They've even got money left. Oh, the bitten sandwich. You're picky at some things like pepper and seafood and plain rice and spaghetti. Are you saying that you like those things or you don't like those things? I'm assuming you don't like those things. Look at all this alien material I got. Battle sticks. Heck is a battle stem. Oh, you don't like those things. Spaghetti's awesome. Seafood's pretty good. I like calamari and all that stuff. Shrimp, sushi. I don't know, plain rice. I don't know about that. I like Chinese food rice. But, like, you know, I don't refuse plain rice. Spaghetti I really like though. Pepper makes everything kind of taste a little better. Depends how you use it though. One of my friends growing up used to make peppered bacon. So he'd like, you know, make some craft dinner, and then he'd cut some hot dogs up into it, and then he'd also on the side he'd cook some bacon and really pepper it down, and that was really, really good. If you go to any restaurant, they got pepper and they got butter in it. Those are the things that make things flavorful.
The Trade Authority appreciates your visit.
I don't think I loaded her up, did I?
Glad to haul whatever you need.
Got some stuff here. Most of it she's wearing though.
Admiral Logan's office shouldn't be terribly far.
What about you, Antonio? Is there things that you dislike? Most meats you don't like? But you're having lasagna loaded with meat. With like 3 different kinds of meat. Most vegetables. Mushrooms. Get out of the way. How am I supposed to push the button? I'm a little finicky with vegetables, although I do like mushrooms. Nice mushrooms cut up and cooked in butter and stuff, and then then you put it on top of your steak. The cooked mushrooms with butter, cooked in butter.
Yes? What?
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement. So the old man was still lurking around in there. Fine work, Captain.
I'm pretty awesome. I collected all that stuff without problems.
Archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
All right. I don't know where Sarah was hanging out. What about calamari? You like calamari? Calamari's kind of spongy. Delicious if you haven't done right.
Here on Vanguard business?
On the record? What response?
When you guys get spaghetti, here's one for Stephanie, especially since she doesn't like spaghetti. But when you've gotten spaghetti, what kind of spaghetti do you usually get? Like, do you like it, or not like it, but do you usually get it where it's just like that plain noodles, and then they put the like sauce and meatballs on top? Do you like it like where it's ground meat and put in mixed in with it? You know, ground meat sauce and kind of mixed in with it. You know, one thing I've noticed about spaghetti here, especially, is that there's a varying degree of quality. You know, like, you know, you get like some cheap meatballs from Superstore or something like that. It's not nearly as good as like a good homemade meatball. Or, you know, the sauce. You know, you buy spaghetti sauce, right? That's pre-made in factories and stuff. That stuff's crap compared to like a good actual sauce, you know. That's you know, kind of crafted by a chef in a local restaurant or something like that rather than a chain, you know. Well, maybe Stephanie's gone again, I don't know, but as far as it goes, though, I'd like to know what kind of spaghetti you've tried to come to the assertion that you don't like it, because you know there is there's like this place that A local place is near me. Holy crap. Super good. You love spaghetti? How do you like it? Do you like it mixed together? I always like mine mixed together because that's how my mom made it when I was growing up. Man, this place looks pretty tidy. I wonder if they want to lose their notebooks.
Welcome, Captain, to the Archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units.
You love spaghetti?
Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
Right. And actually, I kind of like my noodles short too. Like, you know, like when I've cooked spaghetti, I always break the noodles in half and stuff like that rather than have those really long. Goulash? I don't know if I've had goulash or not. I can't remember. Very fancy in here, eh? You're back. You had to message your brother. So I was asking, what kind of spaghetti have you tried? Like that you don't like, because there's so many different ways to have spaghetti. You know, like, you know, some people pile a bunch of plain noodles on a plate, plop some sauce on top. Sometimes some, you know, pre-made superstore meatballs or whatever, you know, and then other times, you know, you get the, you know, sauce mixed together. You get it, you know, you get handcrafted meatballs. You know, there's some real super flavor, you know, like they add. But like if you go to Superstore, you buy just the spaghetti sauce and you put it on some plain noodles and mix it together. That's not. You haven't tried nothing. So that's why I'm wondering. The tomato sauce. See, you're saying you don't like spaghetti, but you haven't really had spaghetti. That's the thing, you know. You gotta really try somewhere that knows how to make it good, you know. Because, you know, seriously, if I go to Superstore, plop a can, you know, some noodles, that's boring. But, you know, if you go to, like, there's a place down the street from me, holy man, their spaghetti's good. Or, you know, if you get it, like, all made with the, you know, lots of ground hamburger in it and mixed, you know, mixed and spiced appropriately, then that's different. Yes, you've had it. No, you just said you had it, the tomato sauce. So, like, I'm talking like pro spaghetti, you know? I bet, you know, if you go to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, you have spaghetti, it's different than what you've had out of a can or whatever at home, you know? So, interesting, actually. One of my nephews, his mom would make spaghetti, and or, you know, she'd make a food, right? And he wouldn't like it. You know, like, for example, a gravy that his mom made. And then, you know, they would try to give him gravy at my you know, his grandma, my mom. And he wouldn't want gravy. It was called gravy, so they called it meat sauce. And then he liked it. He liked it a lot. But yeah, homemade spaghetti from scratch is quite a bit different than anything that you get half made from a factory. So, you know, I don't know, is your foster mom a professional trained Red Seal chef? Because, you know, there's going to be a difference ultimately, even if she's been cooking for years. Sometimes it's going to still be different. You know, maybe that's not her specialty if you don't like it. Because if it was her specialty, he'd probably like it. I don't think you're very brave with food, are you? Like you know, there's a lot of things that you say you don't like that you might not have tried, even tried, you know, just because of the name, just like music, right? You go with the no assumption. But I bet you somebody like Gordon Ramsay could make every item you've listed that you don't like. I bet you he could make it taste good to where you would think it's probably pretty amazing. You know, because those guys have a palate, like a magic palate. They know how to make good food. I tried Gordon Ramsay's hamburgers. It was pretty good. I went to his restaurant when I was in Vegas. Of course, he just made the recipe. He didn't cook it for me, but you know what's different when I went there that I'm not really super used to is you gotta choose how done you want your hamburger. You know, um, so like you go to different places and you know you gotta say you want your hamburger well done or medium or whatever, right? Just like you'd pick your steaks. How do you like your steak? Like escargot? Have you tried escargot? I've never tried it. I think Esta here has tried a lot of things that I haven't tried too. What's up there? Heck, how do I get up there? Some people really like escargot though. You like escargot, Esta? I think it'd be worth trying once just to see what it's like. But looks like a logie. There's lots of stuff that looks like logie that's super delicious though. Oh, we're going the wrong way. You don't eat steak. Is it telling me to go back down again? Where does it want me to go? I went down and then it was telling me to go up. Over here, I guess. Name one. Name one what? Things that look like loogies? There's I'm trying to think of what it's called. Split pea soup. It kind of looks like a loogie. Like all green and mushy and stuff like that, but super good. Have you ever tried split pea soup?
There you are.
Captain, Deputy told me what went down. Impressive work.
Captain, if you'd be willing to transfer the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing what comes next.
You don't need soup either? I had soup tonight, it was good. What about stew? Do you like stew?
Time for us to start getting some real answers and figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready. You're carrying the most comprehensive
You'll eat
collection
potato
of
soup?
information on
Split pea
Terramorph's
soup's actually
hidden
pretty
known
thick too.
universe. If we can't pry an answer out of there, it likely doesn't exist. Certainly doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but we're not going to know until Percival and I dig in, so whenever you're ready.
Stew's one of those things that you can have a million different ways too. No peas or anything weird. I don't mind peas in my stew. You need to have a chef put the right combination together though, you know?
Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage.
Beef, potatoes, and carrots. That's a good combination.
This is us starting to put some things right. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Some people like to put watercress in them too.
Of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
Look at that, we're gonna be made a citizen. You're gonna have to fill paperwork out for 10 hours now.
Okay. Hello.
I asked my boss what they're doing to stop new alien attacks on the city. He said, "Talk."
Guess we gotta follow her, eh? Stephanie, do you like stew? I guess we get to look out on the plain field here.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies?
You are our guest.
It doesn't. We don't really care where else you might have been or might become a citizen. Once you earn your place in the United
Shepherd's
Colonies,
pie is
it's
good.
yours.
Catherine, thank you for liking. You remember Catherine, Stephanie?
Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate
Birthday, happy birthday.
as long as you remain a citizen? Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation.
We've also let the
Catherine, you know, if Stephanie doesn't remember you,
to purchase property. Now, the
I
other
think that means you got to talk more often. You got to come in and say hi more often.
to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position.
I remember you, though.
Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name.
So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms?
I'm sorry. I can't share any more without your word.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I understand this puts you in a strange position, but this information is too sensitive to share without your agreement. Can I count on you to keep this between just you and I?
Guess so.
But never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
Oh, I got 10,000 more bucks. What about Sarah? She's like right here. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Well, thanks for holding the elevator for me. Sorry for the Family Guy reference. I don't mind Family Guy.
I've lived in New Atlantis almost my entire life, and I had no idea this place even existed. The UC certainly excels at keeping secrets.
Unlocked by expert. Let's make sure we're hidden first. Busy most of the time. Taking care of your mom? Oh, that makes sense. Although I do see you come in time to time. You just don't say things a lot of the times. Sometimes you like or whatever. I guess I can't use that one because this one's blue. Oh, right there. There's one with another 3 one. Let's see another 3 one. Or one with 2 and 1. Those don't look that close together. Maybe this one will work. maybe. Are you doing anything interesting on your birthday? Go out for dinner or anything like that? In some places will give you a free dinner if you let them know it's your birthday. What, the one on the right? Maybe, eh? Like this one, no. Maybe that one? Top 3, maybe? Let's see. Yeah, that's probably that one. Well, that was exciting to open the door, but I don't see anything in there. I wonder if we're allowed to sneak in there. Hmm. It's a whole lot of nothing in here, eh? Hmm. A lot of notepads.
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
I'll be fine. You go on ahead.
I guess she's not coming in. So it is a secret.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat.
Who is this?
President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am?
You stop playing it to take another break? Or you take a break?
Perceptive. I like that. I'm Francois Sanon. But
Oh yeah?
as Vivictus. I puppets, great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be
Was that girl's dad?
but the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here, a sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies. To warrant my execution. The official charges I faced after the war were twofold. The first was the destruction of civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne, a battle during which those civilian ships were actively attacking my fleet. The other was ordering the bombing of the Londinian spaceport to halt the spread of the Terramorph outbreak there. The city and its citizens were lost, but countless others likely saved. And for doing what was right, I was put on trial. And my life irrevocably changed. One final act of rebellion by the leadership that lost the colony war. The trial was authentic. I faced tribunal with dignity, but my execution staged. A lethal injection that was anything but. The cabinet at the time, long gone now, wished to keep me on as an advisor. And considering the other option, I was in no place to
Oh.
So I elected to trade my freedom for my continued existence. But such is the life of a soldier. Very astute. That's my daughter. My progeny.
What's the name of this game? It's called Starfield. If you want to play it, it's on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
I found this on the web.
So I don't know if you have an Xbox, you can play it on Xbox Series X or S. Or if you don't have an Xbox, or you only have an Xbox One, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, then you can actually play it via cloud. That's how Antonio plays it. He said he plays it on his phone with a controller. So he has a controller, he Bluetooths to the phone, I believe is the process. Antonio can correct me. And basically
Was that all?
You can play it. Or you can play it through Xbox One too, but Antonio's saying he was having some problems with it via the cloud.
Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one.
John, thank you for following. Welcome to Starbase.
And was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do.
Yeah, you just hold the connect button on the controller and connect through Bluetooth on your phone. Is it a Series S or the Xbox One S that you have, Catherine? Because if you have an Xbox One S, you have to play it through the cloud because it's a Series generation game, I believe.
It was an attempt by United Colonies to solidify its own legacy, forging a new generation of great leaders. They were raised by adoptive families made up of scholars and tacticians, trained at the United Colonies' greatest scientific and military academies, displayed incredible promise. But by the time the colony war came to a close, there was only Hadrian. But that's ancient history now. You have much more pressing matters at hand, with which I can help.
Not every day I get the chance to talk to a man living in a fish tank.
After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the colony war. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with. Well, who better to find them? But many of them I knew personally, and I've always had a mind for details. Where someone was born, next of kin. You'd be shocked how often an otherwise brilliant criminal flees to the planet just next to the one where they were born, or where a family member resides. I simply use my own personal knowledge and the information our group collects for me to track them down and set things right. One task. That's all I require. There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know. Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout.
Ooh, I get to be a war criminal hunter.
Speak to Deputy McIntyre. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that someone might be tying up this loose end at long last. Though I would ask you, do not make the mistake of confusing me for a simple cutthroat. You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it. If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria. Wolf system. There's a star station in the vicinity. The Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
All right. That wasn't. Is this an exit? The server room. These doors are locked everywhere, eh? Am I being observed here? Should have actually saved first, but Nothing in here either.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak to Admiral Logan sooner rather than later.
Excellent.
There's the cam. That was an elevator.
Picked up something you might be interested in.
Don't want your stock, sorry.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy. Exactly. Just another prisoner. Nothing you'd ever even think of bringing up in conversation. With anyone. Ever. We understand each other? The Major doesn't have clearance for this sort of information, and she certainly doesn't need a distraction from her current, very important work. Which is why I need you to keep this to yourself. Good. Because bringing this up to the outside world would create the unfair appearance, Captain, that you're unhinged. And that's not a good look for any of us.
Probably make an enemy real
Something in
quick, eh?
particular you needed to discuss about what we were just discussing. Dr. Reginald Orlaise? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlaise is completely out of the question.
Did I see someone using a ship
Bringing him to
part?
justice.
No, I don't think I have.
Been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC. What's being offered in return? Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting? Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake. But I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch. So while I'd certainly warrant caution, I think you can proceed. The Den? It's a star station. Orbiting Wolf, the second star
I've been to the
station,
Den a
which
few
took their
times,
title.
even tonight.
The first one was blown to smithereens by House Varun during the Serpent's Crusade. The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, primarily for repairing and refueling UC military vessels. But
You
because
drop
of
it
its
and then
distance from the rest of the
hold
UC,
A to pick it up.
things there have always been a little more lax. Patrols included. I can think of worse places in the galaxy for a criminal to hide out.
What'd you have for lunch?
Day, Captain, and remind you of the importance of discretion.
These UC are a bit crooked. No wonder they use that. People sub them in with the Empire, eh? Where's that other guy? Wanted me to talk to. Maybe he'll talk to me finally. Scrambled eggs and toast and cheese. Nice. I like scrambled eggs. With barbecue sauce. You're back. You had to ask a friend to help with a raid in Pokemon. Was that friend Timothy? I don't think I've had it with barbecue sauce, to be honest.
Sarah Morgan. It's been what, almost 10 years?
Admiral, it's good to see you again, sir.
You're not required to address me as sir. That protocol ended the moment you dropped your clusters on my desk, remember?
I did a couple of quests, but that's about it.
Old wounds is an interesting turn
Or
of
not
phrase
quests,
from
but the
past. Listen, Commander, I'm not sure why you're here, but whatever it is, why don't you just get to it?
I'm here because I need your help, Admiral.
You need my help. That's interesting. The last time we spoke, you made a
couple of the where the tasks that require you to talk to them over a couple days kind of thing.
People change. Admiral, please. I didn't come here to argue. I'm here to come to terms with my past.
Your past is sitting in a closed file in the archives. That's where you left it when you walked out on the United Colonies. And what about you? Just who in the blazes are you anyway?
You don't know? I just saved the town.
I see. Then, as Sarah's associate, perhaps you could kindly explain to me why I shouldn't have the both
I don't
of
know
you
like
split
hot
it from
sauce
the
on
middle?
my eggs.
With all due respect, Admiral, this is ridiculous. If you have a problem with me, then there's no need to berate my colleague.
I don't have a problem with you, Commander. I'm simply trying to determine why you deserve the Navy's help. That's quite a noble gesture. Is this true, Commander?
It's about Cassiopeia, Admiral. I'm heading back there to find out what happened to the crew of the Dauntless, and hopefully, to bring their legacy home.
That sounds like a dangerous operation. Are you certain it's worth the risk?
I don't know.
I wish it was that simple. If the Navy gives its blessing for you to undertake this operation, then we assume responsibility. And frankly, I'd never forgive myself if you didn't return.
I appreciate the concern, Admiral. But that crew was my responsibility. No matter how difficult the risk, those men and women are coming home.
I understand. And I believe I owe you an apology, Commander. Our last encounter has obviously distorted my impression of your character. What can I do to help?
If you wouldn't mind allowing me to access the files regarding my rescue, I'd be most grateful, Admiral.
That shouldn't be too difficult. I've sent all the relevant information to you, Slades. Was there anything else?
No, Admiral. Thank you.
You don't need to.
He
thank
kind of
me.
had a change of
I just hope you find
heart
out
really
what
fast
you're
there, didn't he?
We should make sure we're well supplied for the trip to Cassiopeia.
There we go, Sarah. Hope you're excited. I thought that lady was calling me.
Excuse me?
Sarah's gonna take the next elevator, I guess. Your brother likes hot sauce on everything? Yeah, it's bedtime for me too, actually. You like that? Ever watch that video that where they eat the hot wings? If you haven't seen the Gordon Ramsay episode of the hot wings thing, it's a must see. It's hilarious, actually. Probably the best episode of it. So I'd suggest checking that out when you get a chance. Yeah, it is time for me to wrap up too. I gotta work tomorrow. My workplace is buying lunch tomorrow, so that'll be exciting. And so I will enjoy that, and gotta be awake and good and stuff like that. We got lots of meetings tomorrow and all that stuff.
I'm meeting my girlfriend for drinks at the viewport tonight.
So it's nice to be wide awake. If you haven't followed yet, please do so. If you want to check out my YouTube, links in the video description. Thank you for whatever role you played. Those who shared, those who liked, those who participated in the poll, chatted, all that stuff. If you're wondering about the poll, Prodigy, 60% said yes.
Hi, how are you?
Esta, Antonio, Catherine. Happy birthday, Catherine. Stephanie are all our most recent chatters. So anybody else that's around, thank you as well. Have a good night.